Here's my top 10 based solely on the first 2 weeks of this season. So if we remove any preseason ranking and we say, okay, based off of the first 2 weeks, and there's really two criteria here. Number one, who have you played and who have you beaten? And how have you played when you beat them? So those are my two criteria. Performance, which also includes the eye test, of course, and how did you, who did you beat? Those are my two things. In my opinion, Texas has the best win in college football right now with what they did this weekend against Michigan. So for 2 weeks, Texas has the best Power 5, Power 4 win. They're number one in the country right now. Georgia has a very good Power 4 win against Clemson, because if people didn't see what happened, Clemson beat Appy State 66-20 yesterday. They beat Appy State by 46 points. That made that Georgia win over Clemson look way better. Way better. And so because of that, Georgia, I got them at number 2. Tennessee at number 3. They also are one of the few teams on this list that have a Power 4 win. And it was against a team that several people had picked to win the ACC, and they dominated them. Like, that's the thing. Tennessee's defense has not allowed an offensive touchdown yet this season. They have only allowed 3 offensive points in the 2 games that they've played so far, 3 in each game. It's incredible. One of those was a Power 4 school. So Tennessee sitting at number 3 for me right now. Number 4, USC. They have 2 FBS wins so far, one of which was a Power 4 school, LSU, in a neutral site as well. So because of that, USC sitting at number 4. Number 5 would be Alabama. Also 2 FBS wins right now. Neither were a Power 4 school, but nonetheless 2 FBS wins. Number 6, Miami. 1 FBS win, and that was at Florida. And it wasn't just a subtle, barely got by them. They kicked their tail. And so because of that, Miami sitting at number 6. Utah, Power 4 win against Baylor. Ohio State, 2 FBS wins. However, it was Akron and Western Michigan. So not the same level of FBS wins as other schools, but because of how bad they beat the teams, I had them at number 8, ahead of Ole Miss. Ole Miss has wins over Furman and MTSU, very dominant wins, both of them. And then Missouri at number 10, they have 1 FBS win, and that was against Buffalo yesterday. They beat them 38-0. Impressive win against a good team in Buffalo. So I feel like if we took the preseason rankings out of this, this would be a quality top 10 right now based on what teams have done this season thus far, which shouldn't that be what it's about anyway? Shouldn't it be what's done on the field determines how you're ranked? And so this would be the top 10 if I were in charge of the AP poll. Sam said, so the way I'm reading this is you rate South Florida better than Florida. Hey, Sam, it's interesting you mentioned that, because actually that was crossing my mind as I was making this. But here's where I landed on that. That's a great question. The reason that I put Alabama ahead of Miami is because Alabama has 2 FBS wins. Miami only has 1, and that's Florida. Their other win was against Florida A&M, which is an FCS school. So because Alabama's competition was greater both weeks, that's why I put them ahead. Will, welcome. Will, he said Ohio State is way too low. So I understand that. Ohio State has looked incredibly good in who they've played so far in their games, but the competition has been Akron and Western Michigan. every team above them has played much better competition thus far. I mean, Texas had a top 10 win over Michigan. Georgia beat Clemson, and Clemson just beat Appy State 66-20. Tennessee beat NC State. All those are Power 5 school or Power 4 schools. Ohio State has not yet played a Power 4 school. USC has beaten a Power 4 school. Miami beat a Power 4 school. Utah beat a Power 4 school. The only team that's ahead of Ohio State right now who has not yet beaten a Power 4 school is Alabama. They're the only one. And they have 2 FBS wins, just like Ohio State has 2 FBS wins.
And South Florida is better than Akron or Western Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand. I mean, Ohio State, the eye test, man, they're fantastic, but they have not yet played the same level of competition as anybody who's ahead of them right now.